High Quality Conversation, episode 11. I'm your host and stand up comedian Avion Smith. And this week we're starting out with RFK Jr. backtracking on nearly everything he said. But who is that really a surprise, y'all? Vaccines are going to make your kids gay and horny. You know those guys? You know those trans people that were reading in those libraries? All of them were vaccinated. Every autistic person in the world, vaccinated. Every problem we've ever had in America, it's probably because of vaccines. That was RFK's whole shtick. That was his whole thing. Now we have a measles outbreak in America. What's next? Fucking polio? Is that the plan for everyone? To itch themselves into a coffin? To have our bodies deteriorate because of things that haven't been deadly to people in over 50 years, 70 years? So because of all these measles outbreaks, this entire morning, it's the 22nd of April, 2026. This entire morning, he's been on panel after panel having to explain himself, and he had the audacity to say, this measles outbreak ain't got nothing to do with me. I know you can't see me right now, but I'm grabbing air chest right now and lifting it up like I'm a superhero. Motherfucker, this has everything to do with you, given your history of telling everyone that vaccines are going to make you gay, horny, and autistic. That's what you said. And people listened to you, not because they weren't always going to not get the vaccine. They weren't ever going to get the vaccine, a lot of these people. So I can get what you mean by that. But here's the thing. You gave them a government out. You gave them a .gov, right? So we got a motherfucker from the .gov committee saying we shouldn't be getting vaccines. So now all these people are confident in what they're doing even more, telling people that, look, even our government is telling us that these vaccines are going to make you gay and horny and autistic and trans. I knew I was right this whole time because somehow this guy that RFK Jr., the man that credited heroin, y'all, that calmed his mind. We give clavicular so much bullshit for using heroin. Who's going to start bringing it up all the time with this guy? This guy's the leader of health services or whatever, the Secretary of Health? How did he get here? Well, if you ask him, he would credit heroin in his young life. He would say for the first time ever, heroin gave him a sense of calm. I mean, yeah. We all watched Breaking Bad. Everyone who was addicted to heroin was pretty calm when they were on it, but then when they were off it, they kind of got a little crazy. Some of them even got crazy and said you shouldn't take vaccines, kind of like this guy. Former heroin addict turned Secretary of Health and Human Services. And in his first executive order, he tells everyone to fuck off with vaccines. American hero, RFK Jr., heroin hero, RFK Jr. So if you are anti-vax and you probably don't read news, like I don't know what your level of reading is. If it's got like 4 syllables or more, you just don't fuck with it, right? So it's hard for you to understand a lot of these things. Someone around you, I hope, shows you a picture of someone, the last person to be surviving with polio. Have you guys seen that? If you're listening to me, I assume you can type. But basically, living with polio, a disease that is and was cured, living with polio is an amazingly horrible experience that I would wish on my worst enemy. My worst enemy. I don't really have a worst enemy right now, but if you're thinking about fucking with me, Just know I'm wishing polio on you, and I hope your parents are anti-vax. I hope I hope your real father is RFK Jr., okay? The one who fucking walked out because the mom was like, "No, our son's not getting a vaccination." I'd leave my family too. I'd leave my family too. But this whole administration, in all honesty, is kind of a product of stuff like this. Uh, you get hired for all these bold statements. We're gonna fix everything. Michelle Obama, she ruined our health system. Hilarious because I am a part of the kids that grew up in the change from old lunches to when Michelle Obama was offering lunches to people. Military lunch went crazy. I grew up in Japan. Now, did it compare to my food when I was in school in Japanese school? Heck no, 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 no. Don't ever compare. It's like when you start comparing prison lunches, school lunches to America's, it's horrible. And for a long time it felt like that. But for the first time in my life, I looked at my plate of food, and that's coming from a Japanese school, and going, you know what, bro? This isn't too bad. This is not too bad compared to the bullshit that they were serving to people earlier. We're talking about organic food in Japanese school. Like my school experience, let me tell you guys about it just a little bit. So, if you were chosen that week to help cook, everyone has different tasks, and the entirety of the school would help clean the school as well. But that week, if I was on cooking duty, you'd go down. Of course, there was adults there, but we would be helping them every step of the way. And we're talking about amazingly fresh made food, something that is seemingly impossible to even think about in high school. Oh, tuh, buying lunch, disgusting. I would eat my lunch, eat my girlfriend at the time's lunch, and before I would ever go and eat what they were serving at my high school. Shout out Scripps Ranch. Shout out Scripps Ranch, San Diego. Michelle Obama was trying to do good and put free, healthy food in the stomachs of kids in America across the nation and overseas. RFK wasn't fucking with that. Vaccines. COVID was one of the biggest disagreements we all had. Everyone's like, oh, fuck the mask. Oh, I'm not wearing a mask. Oh, I am wearing a mask. RFK Jr. piggybacked off that, used the whole vaccine idea to spread even more false narratives about other vaccines, and now look at it. We got a measles outbreak, and motherfuckers are probably going to start getting polio again because they think a trans person is the product of a vaccine. What the fuck are we doing? I had an amazing time in Japanese school, being so involved with what was going on in the school at all times. It was actually pretty eye opening to come back to the United States and not care about, no one cares about the faculty. No one cares about the teachers. No one cares about the lunch ladies and the lunch men. No one gives a flying fuck. So, why do you think anyone's going to give a flying fuck about education in America from the top? No, and that's where it starts, and I think that's where one of my biggest concerns is educationally. You have to care to want to make a situation like that. Like Japan goes out of their way to show you that they care about the next generation of Japanese citizens. And it was an honor and a blessing for me to experience that myself and to be included in that myself and to be kind of open up my eyes to a different view of education and taking care of kids and how they're going to be, that these people are directly going to impact you and me. Those kids in fifth grade right now, bro, what they think about us when they're 21, 22 matters. Because what do we think about all the people that are talking about how they bought their house for like $30,000? They tell us to take that on the chin. So what do? My generation, in almost retaliation, doesn't give a fuck about them at all. In fact, if you aren't for everyone and progressive in some way, shape, or form, my generation really could give a fuck if you live or die, because that's how serious it is. I know I went from talking about growing up in Japan and being in elementary school, being in such a great environment, to the moving to America and realizing no one gives a fuck about us time pipeline. That is real, bro. I have friends that grew up in Korea. I have friends that grew up in Japan with me. I have friends that grew up in Germany. A lot of them will talk about a similar experience when it comes to their education when they were in their respective countries growing up versus moving here. I mean, I didn't even there was a point in time where I didn't even need to study and I would get a probably a B plus average. I had a 3.3 and I played sports all year, started drinking when I was 15 and started smoking when I was 14. The American education system is a fucking joke. It's a joke. I'm not saying it's supposed to break your back, but nobody cares. Nobody cares. And if they cared, we would be having better food for these people. But instead, we're worried about who vaccines turning people gay and trans and horny. Computer, turn these people gay, trans, and horny and autistic. I hope you guys get the reference. Moving on. How Trump and Sam Altman are trying to cover up a lot of their actions, or I shouldn't say cover up, but basically make us almost put them in the back burner by doing the bare minimum. And what I mean by that is this morning, Trump was saying how marijuana laws are going to ease as quickly as tomorrow in terms of this might be a federal order. We might have a situation at which everybody very soon can smoke marijuana. That's good. But what about ICE murdering US citizens though? Could you mind telling me about that? Or us deporting the wrong people, because you guys said you're going to deport a bunch of murderers and rapists and all these other things. You haven't done that. I mean, I'm hearing women are getting sexually assaulted in ICE facilities, but thank you for the 3.5. Thank you very much for this $50 government issued eighth. You think people were going to be mad at data centers? Just wait until someone burns down a fucking dispensary because you just looked at him in the face and said, "You want a $50 3.5? Are you going to leave a tip?" Oh shit. Oh. Oh, bro. But that's what I mean. They're going to do stuff like this to get us all high and happy, when in all reality, weed has never been a massive issue in the United States to begin with. So it's kind of like in an argument when you're just right about something and someone goes, "Oh, I'll give you that one." "Oh, you'll give me marijuana? Wow, thank you. Wow, you'll give me that. I didn't need to be given that." Marijuana has been a known helpful hand for so many people. And I'm not going to break it down on some scientific level right now because you know what? Fuck it. I just might, because we're talking about CBD, we're talking about CBN, CBC, so many different cannabinoids that are there to help you and not even make you high. Not everyone wants to get high as a kite like me. So thank you for giving just giving marijuana, I guess. Because finally, maybe just maybe police officers, doctors, firefighters, the military can come home after saving someone's life or maybe even taking a few lives and not down a bottle of whiskey. Maybe they could down a 3, you know what I mean? A little J. Maybe with a little tobacco in it cuz that's how I like it. I like getting a little spliffy, you know? I can't imagine what I would do if my only resort to PTSD and trauma. I know some people might say, "Well, why don't you just be so?" Dude, that does not work for everyone. And some people don't like pills. Marijuana truly is a helpful hand with a lot of these things. My direct correlation is PTSD. I love that we're moving towards a direction where people with PTSD don't just have to drink alcohol and then fucking shoot themselves in the face. Cause that's really what they want you to do, bro. Go to Afghanistan. I know that kid didn't actually have a bomb on him. I thought he did, and you fucking took off his head. Let's go home and kill a bottle of whiskey. Maybe we'll kill our families and ourselves after too. Best kind of suicide is a murder suicide. Sam Altman, with all the things going on in his life, is suggesting a 4-day work week throughout the United States. Wow. We should have a better balance between our work lives and our personal lives so people don't uprise and destroy everything you're trying to build, and maybe they'll stop talking about AI as much because they'll be able to smoke weed one more day a week without needing to do anything. Okay. Thank you, Sam Altman. But why don't we talk about how your voice has risen to one of the highest in the White House when it comes to AI and drone warfare? Motherfuckers are getting like war generals to meet with Sam Altman so we can figure out the best ways to use these drones and murder people and fund a genocide. That's what it's really all about, y'all. But you can get a 4-day work week and you can smoke weed 3 days out of the week. I've smoked weed every single day damn near in my life since I probably started. Okay? So this is coming from a person who I'm about a half functional high. I really don't believe in that functional high stuff. If you have someone that's like, "No, I'm a functional marijuana smoker." It's the same thing as multitasking, bro. It's just you can never truly do it, but I do a pretty good job at it. I know when I need to stop. I know when I need to only smoke at the end of the day. Today is a day for me to smoke because I'm shooting the podcast. But it will make you complacent, y'all. It will do the exact thing that I'm saying, even though it's coming off as kind of a joke. It is going to make you think, oh, well, what am I going to do? Smoke, smoke, smoke. What am I going to do? I'm happy marijuana is coming to the forefront and being more available. I would be happy if people could have a 4-day work week and get paid the same. But what is that going to do for really anybody? So you can spend more money on drugs. You can have another day off for what? For what? So you can go work that second job? So you can go have an opportunity to pay your bills a little bit better. You're still going to be working. Prices aren't changing by any. None of these people have mentioned prices on anything. Trump was like, "Oh yeah, that guy who said the Secretary of Energy or whatever the fuck, he's wrong. Gas is not going to be under $3 by next. Like it's going to be this year." I just don't think so. And if I could give you an even better example of why the government, to show you that the government doesn't give a fuck about us, the entirety, we're all together in this one, doesn't give a fuck about us. Some of Trump's biggest fans and cult following is in the Bible Belt in a lot of these states that don't give a fuck about marijuana and probably wouldn't want it around, much like gambling. They're based in the church, their heart's in the church. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but Trump don't give a fuck about y'all either. If it can make money and make people shut the fuck up, there's gonna be a dispensary on every single corner in Alabama, Texas, all these places, bro. If it would make him $1 and make you shut up and let him deport more Mexicans, there would be a dispensary on every single corner. I think a lot of the people that would be really upset with that would be really loud, but honestly, I don't think a majority of people would really care. I think you'd be surprised how much money there is in marijuana and also how well people can get paid in there. I've worked in dispensaries close to 4 years now, 3 years now. It's been a pretty good life for me. I've etched a nice little corner in my life, right? With all that being said, I do think these two things are a massive distraction to almost make people what, ease up on Trump and Sam Altman? Those are the thoughts going through my head when I hear Trump talk about the positivities of marijuana, having Joe Rogan in there talking about drugs and DMT and all this other shit. Oh, because Joe Rogan called you, you can just go on this shit? For sure, bro. Sam Altman suggesting a 4-day work week. Guys, I'm not a lizard fucking robot funding a genocide and doing data centers and making small towns in like Wisconsin have literal like wars going on in town halls because people's bills are higher because of these data centers. But you know what? Here's a 4-day work week. I'm just not buying any of it. It's un-American, and the next topic we're going to talk about might be the most un-American thing I've heard all week. Really, just kidding. We're talking about tailgating and FIFA. No, this is not about soccer directly, but it's FIFA's relationship because, you know, we're going to be hosting the World Cup. We're going to be hosting the World Cup, and there's a handful of problems that we're already facing. One, people's fear of coming here in general. People are afraid they're going to come here and be like, no, I'm just here for the World Cup. It'll be a fun time, and get detained by fucking ICE because they were speaking Spanish, because most of these countries that are good at soccer speak Spanish. I'm telling you, if you speak Spanish, do not visit this fucking country for the World Cup, bro. You better visit you better go to Mexico. You better go to the games in Mexico. I'm telling you, Mexico and California, maybe, but even within the United States. So why are we wanting to host this? Because we're not going to allow tailgating. That was really my main topic, right? No place is allowing tailgating. So you're telling me people from around the world are going to visit Philadelphia for a sports game, visit Jersey for a sports game, visit Buffalo, visit LA, visit all these places, Kansas City, and we're not tailgating? I don't mean to make some big assumptions and big claims about America, but there are two things we can do really well. Discriminate against people, especially people that speak Spanish and really any other language. Don't be Somali in here and have a successful business. Oh God. Oh God. Right? And party. So if we're not tailgating and making sure that so many of these cultures are having a good time together, breaking the ice together, cracking beers open together, that is some of the most amazing things and the best thing America could probably do right now. But guess what's happening? The boys from up top said, nope, nope. You think we want motherfuckers speaking Spanish and having fun around here? No. No. We don't want anyone having fun here. In fact, not only that, we're going to raise the prices on everything, y'all. And if you have never been to the West Coast, if you think this has anything to do with New York City, it does not. Please do not book y'all shit in New York City, because you're going to be spending over $100 and spending like 3 hours of your day just trying to get to this fucking stadium. I've been to one Giants game. My team, the Chargers, they lost. I'm never going back. It's baseball and basketball for me because I'm staying in the city. You're crazy if you think I'm going all the way over there, spending that much money to not drink and have fun at a tailgate. No. No, we're off to a horrible start. We are off to one of the worst starts ever. And here's a kind of funny thing to me too. The people that are coming to tailgate and have a really good time, and the people that are going to come out in America and support this World Cup, because they're actually having trouble because of the pricing of the tickets. And funny enough, today FIFA dropped another tier of a more expensive ticket. What the fuck is their problem? Talk about not reading the room. But soccer isn't important to these MAGA Americans. It's not important to them at all. They don't give a fuck. In fact, when our name got pulled, they probably weren't even excited. They were probably bugging out because now we have to deal with all these fucking Mexicans from other countries. That was satirical, by the way. I am Mexican and proud. But it's so disappointing to see people who don't give a fuck about you make decisions about things that they don't even give a fuck about, and all these other people do. And isn't that just the cherry on top, huh? Whether it be a woman's body, black and brown people in America, or even hosting one of the, if not the greatest sporting event next to the Olympics. Come on, y'all. This is the FIFA World Cup we're talking about. This is Olympic levels of sporting, bigger than any baseball championship, NBA championship, and bigger than the Super Bowl. And if we had the right people up top, I really do think this could have been an amazing thing for everyone. But instead, do not speak Spanish when you come here. You better go mute. And I'm not even trying to be funny right now. You better go mute or else you're in handcuffs, bro. I get to feeling a little funny even when I see ICE agents in New York. And I know Dominican Poppy. I Mexican, I black. But look at me. ICE agent look at me, they go, bro, you Mexican. That's what the fuck they see. So, or even better, I have an amazingly dear friend. I almost just said her full government name and stopped myself. I'm sorry. But a close friend of mine here in New York, she was amazingly afraid to go visit with her visa thing to get something about getting her visa extended because there's ICE agents literally around the building. So you're telling me people can't even go to their meetings to maybe extend their visa, to do something with it, to become a citizen. They're outside these buildings. So you're spawn trapping? You're spawn trapping people with legal visas here and green cards, and people who are trying to be US citizens, and then just yeah, bro. So the fact that she's hitting me up because she's afraid to go, and she knows, this is me assuming, I'm assuming she just knows I'm 5'11", I'm probably not intimidating. She knows I got a mouth on me, and I know my laws, and I know how to talk. Debate team. I know how to speak. FIFA versus the United States. Who would have known, instead of doing the most for the World Cup, bro, South Africa and what other place was it? What was the last place in it where they like basically had a bunch of slaves build 1,000 stadiums? Same shit, bro. You have people and countries breaking their fucking backs, literally, to build stadiums. And then with us, we're just this privileged little white country, huh? That's what we're coming off as now. This privileged, rich boy, white country. Is that what we are? No. In fact, this country is full of people of different places, different likings, different things, different religions. And we actually are one of the best places to host a soccer tournament. Just not right now, okay? Because right now, the head of the household is a little racist and kind of a pedophile. Whatever, bro. Whatever. Next question for you. Shootings. When will we say enough is enough? My guess is no time soon. I'm a person who's grown up with guns in the house. I'm a person who's grown up shooting guns and being educated on guns. I'm a pretty fucking good aim too, even 100 yards out. Melt this shit down. Give people, because since money's fake and we all know we just print money now. We all know the US just prints fucking money. I need all these guns I need all these guns turned in for twice the price. Fuck shelf price. If you offered people twice the money for their guns, cash, no question, do you know how many guns would be turned in? Realistic, like, bro. And then, or I argue this. I argue this too. Why don't we make it so if you own a gun, you buy a gun, you have to have it at a certain place. Like you have a gun locker. This could create a whole different sort of economy in America involving guns. You get what I'm saying? You have a place solely for a range. You know how many mountains we have in California? You know how much open range we have in California? You'd have a 24/7 on the clock range where you would be able to put your locker, and then each person has their own guns, and then even on top of that, this gun place, since you have a locker here, the guns would be blah 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 blah. There's so many different things we could do than having people just having fully automatic pistols under their car seat, get stolen, and a man uses it to kill 8 children, is to kill his family, but 8 children and himself. Let's run that back. Machine pistol stolen from under a guy's car seat who doesn't report it. He doesn't report it stolen. He was arrested on federal charges today. Good. You don't report it, and then he went to this dude, the guy who shot up the 8 kids, his whole family, said, "Yo, did you steal my gun?" He goes, "No." And then didn't do anything after that. Didn't call no police, didn't do anything, just let a fully automatic pistol roam around the streets. And guess what it did? Killed 8 children. But who cares? You guys don't care about children. Nobody cares about children. The president doesn't care about children. MAGA doesn't care about children. MAGA doesn't even care about their own children. Bro, they want to send their 18-year-old kids to the front lines in Iran, bro, so they can go do the whole nuclear thing again. Hey, yo, bro, if Trump said it and we're doing this to keep the peace, we're kind of the police of the world. Who said? Who said that? We have so many issues going on. Shoot, how can we even trust the president, the FBI director? We got an FBI director that's showing up so fucking drunk to work that these people have a SWAT the thing where you're just like hitting the door down. They have one of those on deck just in case Kash Patel is so fucking drunk that he can't answer the door. Kash Patel has the audacity after all these videos. Bro's like, "Bro, I don't have a drinking problem. You were on the clock using the FBI jet to fly out to go drink with the USA team and get blacked out. And we know this, and we know you're drunk all the time because the drunker you get, the wider your eyes get across each other. Not only do they poke out like really weird, like your eyes start to bulge out of your fucking sockets of your head, but your eyes start going this chameleon thing and start looking in your left eye looks left and your right eye looks right. The drunker you are. You were literally drunk on national television announcing that you were going to sue the Atlantic for $250 million for defamation. You were drunk then. How? Like, it is so clear that he is fucking drunk. He's a fucking alcoholic because, I don't know. I mean, it's not like you do anything. Maybe protecting pedophiles and everyone around you who fucks kids, maybe that does a number on you, you know? Maybe that's why Trump is going to allow marijuana to be available to everyone soon, because he saw Kash Patel tweaking out. He's like, "Okay, I can't have my guys that are protecting me and protecting all my billionaires who fuck kids. I need him straight. So let's get him smoking weed at the end of the day and not getting drunk all day." That's the only way this works out. The only way this works out for Kash Patel, I mean, obviously it's not because he's suing for defamation. He's a fucking idiot if he thinks he's getting any of that. The only way this could have worked out is if the news drops that Kash Patel's a fucking drunk. We need a SWAT team to break down the door because he is so drunk and blacked out. He resigns and says, well, it's pretty hard to go to sleep at night when your only job is to protect pedophiles. And then he just, boom, boom. That's why he's drinking so much. That's why he uses the FBI jet. He actually isn't some I want to be white ass minority that is around just fucking all these different types of people. Back to reality, though, right? Back to reality. He's suing the Atlantic for $250 million of the truth. Of the truth. Coming up next, federal deportation agents in California, they now have blocked a law that requires these people to show identification, have identification, and show their face. And I'm going to use the IDF as an example. So you guys remember when the IDF was putting out those photos of their proud members and soldiers, and all you could see was the back of their head. Well, good thing we have an app for that, right? We know exactly what you look like. But here's the funny part. I'm going to ask both these groups the same question. So if the IDF is proud, if the IDF is proud of Israel and proud of what they're doing to Palestinians, Lebanese, Iranians, if they're so proud of this, why are you hiding your face? And if ICE is just doing what they're told and doing all these laws, and if they feel comfortable doing what they're doing, if they really did feel comfortable doing that, why do they have to hide their face? It's like when, to me, it's like when white people want to say the N-word and there's that clip of the guy saying, okay, then say it. No, I mean, I don't want to say it. Then why are we talking about it? They're just following the law and then do it proudly. If you're going to sign up, if you're going to bring this up, right? If you're going to bring up the N-word, if you're going to bring up covering your face while you're doing things, destroying citizens' entire livelihoods, show your face. Do it. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. If you're going to argue for something, if you're going to fight for something, you better be able to stand on business. But this is Gestapo-like. Hiding your face, hiding your identification because of what? You want to keep their families in security safe? Yeah, because you know we're doxing those fucks. You know when this whole little thing is down, if you were an ICE agent, boy, do I got some bad news for you. You are getting fucked socially. You're getting you're getting gangbanged socially. You're getting, you know all those clips you're afraid of? You know how black people are just in your mind all the time, MAGA? Oh, trust me. You're going to know what BBC feels like socially now. You're going to get fucked socially. No one is fucking with you. You are anti-American. You work against the United States of America, and you are a fucking loser. Show your fucking face. These people are murderers. Literally people with felonies are ICE agents hiding their faces, doing illegal activity. It's enough for me to tweak out, bro. That could literally be a murderer hiding their face and just assaulting people. And they're assaulting people in ICE facilities, right? They're separating women, separating children. I already told you what they're doing. They're turning all the men, they're assaulting women and turning all the men, they're melting them down into liquid to cool down AI servers. I've already told you that. Next. Semi-popular SoundCloudish rapper David dismembers an underage girl, rest in paradise, to Celeste Ramirez. She was going to come forward with this whole thing. In fact, for some reason, this fucking idiot was on a live stream with her. And then all of a sudden she was talking about, well, I mean, blah, 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 that's why we fucked. And he just tweaks. You could tell it started to become a little bit of a tweak out situation. Now, the world has known this for 4 months, 5 months. The guy has been wanting to get caught this entire time. He has songs called I Did It, I'm Guilty. He was going on interviews talking about, when we separated, it really felt like she died, but not really. It just felt like she died inside. It's not like I killed her and dismembered her. It's really more just emotional damage. There'd be no reason to look in the back of my Tesla for a dismembered body of an underage girl who I'm sleeping with because I'm a pedophile murderer and a literal insane person. It's weird because a couple of days after the murder, this guy goes on IG Live, Instagram, TikTok, talking about how life is so precious, life is amazing. This guy is fucking insane, and the signs were obvious. And much like myself, a lot of other people were so angry that it took this long to arrest him. Not only that, there's proof on all of his electronics because he's a freak. I wouldn't doubt that this fucker probably jerks off to that shit or something. Bro, a weirdo like this, a super weirdo pedophile, murderer, rapist. Oh yeah, bro. Guess how many terabytes? I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. 4 terabytes. That's like 4 Olympic swimming pools filled with Polaroids of nudes of underage girls. 4 terabytes of just disgusting underage, disgusting shit, but dead body. Like just proof, they said. Just proof that he did this. Whether that be texts, sex, meetups, photos, and of course, photos of the body. David could be the first person in California to get put to death in a very long time, and I have never understood how keeping someone alive is cheaper than killing someone. I think that's a lie. Bro, that sentence itself just unlocked everything for me, because you ever just need to say something real quick? There it goes, bro. There is no way in hell killing someone is not cheaper than keeping someone alive. There's money in keeping people alive in these private prisons. They don't want the death penalty, not because, oh, what if we make a mistake? Oh, the death penalty is inhumane. Bro, killing someone is inhumane in this society. So I think killing someone for that might be putting someone to death for this. A man was in a relationship with an underage girl, and when she decided to go public with it, when she, I guess, was saying she really felt uncomfortable with it being a secret, she wants to go public with it, blah, 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 he dismembered her body and put her in the back of a Tesla for her to rot. I don't know a person who deserves the death penalty more in California than this guy. I am for the death penalty. That's where a lot of my politics kind of comes pretty funny, because it's like, look, I am a Democrat. I'm trying to remember what they used to call it back in the day, like a blue dog, blue collar. I don't know if it's like something dog Democrat, something like that. But my kind of liberal democracy involves people who sleep with underage girls and dismember their bodies getting put to death in California. That's the Florida in me, I guess. I do have family from Arkansas. Okay? A motherfucker gets put to death for something like this. Since we're on the topic of death, hot air balloon makes emergency landing in California backyard, and this is just another thing that I would be angry if I died in. This is a topic I come to every episode or so, every other episode. I run into something that I mentioned to you guys, that it's not that I'm afraid, it's that I would be so angry if I died in a giant hot air balloon. Because why in the fuck am I in a giant hot air balloon? The whole thing freaks me out. The entire thing freaks me out. I'm up there. I'm in this straw basket. Respect to them. That's probably the strongest thing on that thing. I'm in a straw basket watching a guy with no degree pump hot air into a hot air balloon and just go. I don't know if you need a degree to run a hot air balloon, but I'll tell you this. If that hot air balloon landed in my backyard, I would walk out there and tell them to their faces that I wish this thing hit a fucking building instead of my backyard. Because what the fuck? And I'm from San Diego too. This is actually a place where, like in Del Mar, there's like hot air balloons everywhere. There's actually quite the beautiful thing to look at. I I just couldn't get over from the first story I heard of a hot air balloon malfunction. I immediately told myself, "Oh yeah, there's no reason to ever go on one of those." I don't have any thrill of beauty or anything. I've seen the sky from an airplane. I've seen the sky from In fact, you want to know what the funniest thing apart it is? There are some mountains and cliffs overviewing the beach that are the same height in San Diego as some of those hot air balloons. So what the fuck am I doing on a hot air balloon right now? I'm sorry, y'all. I hate to wish death on people who just want to see the world more, but I don't give a fuck where I am if this place has not had a hot air balloon accident in over blah 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 years, but you could suck my dick. Next. Israeli soldiers jailed for viral video of them destroying a statue of Jesus. Another hilarious example of people in America allowing for racism, sexism, and genocide. All that's okay. I actually don't mind. Don't we all got a little racism, sexism, and genocide in all of us, huh? But destroying a statue of my Lord and Savior and King, not talking about Elvis here, Jesus Christ, y'all. Now that is where I crossed the line. At the end of the day, Alex Preddy, Alex Preddy should have never reached for his gun. And I know they're telling y'all that he did not reach for his gun, but I can promise you, I saw a video that was not AI, and Alex Preddy went for his gun. And is that not counting or counting gang violence? And women don't deserve to vote. But let me tell you one thing that I'm not okay with. I'm not okay with gambling and disrespecting the church. I'm not okay with any of that. That's the life a lot of these people live, bro. Believe it or not, this is America. That's what Childish Gambino tried to tell us in that shirtless video when he was flying. He tried to tell us this is America. It is. And to finish out the show, I just wanted to kind of talk about some of my confusion in what we're doing. It almost feels like we're playing a game of Twister. You know, we have no control of our game. We just got to spin it and see what's coming next. We're funding Israel. We're funding Ukraine. We're going to let Russia do whatever the fuck they want. They're going to support these people. We're going to steal oil from them. I just don't know what's happening. So we really are just playing a game of war mindlessly. And I'm talking about the goals at which we're doing this. I've seen so many political commentary, political analysts asking the same question over and over again. And it's funny how I can answer them, but they don't know the answer. Let me answer it for them. The question that all of them are asking is, what are the goals of all of these moves? Because they see the contradictions in which what we're doing, how gas prices are affecting us, how Donald Trump is just a fucking idiot doing whatever he can to just stay afloat right now and not try to get a bullet in it. Let me stop. You know, AI is crazy. That was AI and that was a joke. To those political analysts, the answer is this: everything this administration does is for the benefit and the pockets of those who support Donald Trump and put him up there. If you aren't okay with that, then you should speak up and stop asking stupid fucking questions. It's just a waste of time asking, well, what are our goals in this war? Our goals in this war are definitely not to protect anybody from nuclear warfare. Our goals in this war are to keep our daddies in Israel proud and keep them safe so they can have a nice beach and Steph Curry can invest in AI and all that bullshit and destroy the map and destroy our history. That's the answer. That's the truth. And guess who's getting rich off of it? Donald Trump and his co-conspirators and his family. And what's the cost? Our lives. My name is Avion Smith, stand-up comedian. Check out my TikTok, check out my Instagram, check out all that good stuff if you want to come swing by a show, do whatever it may be. 50 minutes is all right. I'll try to get to an hour more. I'm going to start recording 2 episodes a week, but until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.